Hello students. So we will discuss applications of Gauss theorem. First application. What is the first application? Electric field intensity due to a long charged conductor or conducting wire. This is a long conducting wire. So you remove the electrons from this long conducting wire. If you remove the electrons, it will charge positively. Now, what is the applications of Gauss theorem? You want to calculate the electric field due to a infinitely long straight conductor because you can't apply Coulomb's law. Why you can't apply Coulomb's law? So it is a long straight conductor. Let us suppose these are all the charges are there. The long conducting wire. You want to calculate the electric field due to a long charged conducting wire. Consider a given point P at a distance r from the plus 1 coulomb of charge. So this is a long straight conductor charged positively. So what you want to calculate? You want to calculate the electric field due to a long charged conducting wire at a given point. Whenever you want electric field at a given point, first you place a plus 1 coulomb of charge. The charges are at different distances. Now this charge is at this distance. This charge is at this distance. This charge is at this. Different charges on the conductor are at different distances. Then you cannot apply Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is applicable for only two charges, 2 point charges, Q1, Q2 separated by a small distance. Then you can apply Coulomb's law only. Here the charges are distributed on the long wire, conducting wire. And there, if you want to calculate the electric field at a given point, what you should do? Place a plus 1 coulomb of charge at that point. Place a positive 1 coulomb of charge at that point. How much of the force experienced? What do you mean by electric field? It is defined as the force experienced by a charge, where Q0 is the test charge. How much of the force felt by the test charge at a given point is what is, it will give rise to what? Electric field intensity at that point. So in this case, first application of Gauss theorem, electric field intensity due to a long charged conducting wire. This is a long, let us consider a long charged conducting wire. Charged positively means you remove the electrons from the conducting wire, then the conducting wire will charge positively. Consider a point P at distance r from the straight conductor. Consider a point P at distance r from the straight conductor. Place a plus 1 coulomb of charge at that point. Place a plus 1 coulomb of charge at that point. Now, construct a Gaussian cylinder. So this is a Gaussian cylinder. This Gaussian cylinder encloses these many number of charges. Now that Gaussian cylinder is divided into small elemental areas. Each elemental area is ds. So this is small elemental area ds. This is small elemental area ds. So such kind of elemental areas you construct, where L is the length of the Gaussian cylinder and small r is the radius of the Gaussian cylinder. Construct a small elemental area ds. Observe, find out the number of electric lines of forces. This is a small elemental area ds. And this is the area vector. A line drawn perpendicular to the area is what is called area vector. This is a small elemental area. And E is the electric field lines of forces. In this case, electric field lines parallel to the area vector. Therefore, theta is equal to 0 degree, that you know well. First you calculate the how many number of electric lines of forces passing through the small elemental area. How many number of electric lines of forces passing through the small elemental area ds. How I can write, proceed, let d pi be the few electric lines or electric flux passing through the what I can write, let d pi be the few electric flux passing through the small elemental area. Small elemental area. What is the elemental area? Its elemental area is what is called as ds. Is given by what I can write? D pi is equal to E ds cos theta. Am I right or not? D pi is the electric flux. The symbol for electric flux is d pi. D pi is equal to E into ds of cos of theta. What happened here? Here, electric field lines of forces or electric field vector is parallel to electric field lines are parallel to area vector. Theta is equal to 0 degree. Therefore, can I write here cos of 0 degree is equal to 1. Therefore, can I write here how many fluxes are passing through the small elemental area? D pi is equal to E into ds. Am I right or not? D pi is equal to E into ds. These many number of fluxes are passing through the small elemental area ds. Construct such elements throughout the. So this is one small element, this is another small element, like that. So what I want to calculate, then how many number of electric flux passing through the entire elemental area of the Gaussian cylinder. Therefore, can I write total flux? What do you mean by total flux? Total flux passing through the entire Gaussian cylinder. Through the entire Gaussian cylinder. Gaussian cylinder of radius. Of radius what? What is the radius of the Gaussian cylinder? R. Total flux. What do you mean by total flux? Total flux is nothing but a pi. Therefore, total flux pi is equal to summation of d pi. What is summation of d pi? In the previous equation, d pi is equal to what? Summation of E into ds. Look at carefully. Electric field on either side of the walls of the cylinder remains constant because the R is the radius of the cylinder, Gaussian cylinder. Therefore, E is taken outside. Therefore, electric field is same. Since electric field is constant at a particular distance, therefore total flux pi is equal to what I can write here? E into summation of ds. So you can, if you add all the elemental areas, the whole Gaussian cylinder is divided into small elemental areas. Each elemental area is ds. Construct the small elemental areas throughout the Gaussian cylinder. Surface is area of the Gaussian cylinder. Therefore, summation of ds will give us to the total S. S is the total surface area of the Gaussian cylinder. Therefore, can I write here total flux passing out through the entire Gaussian cylinder is given by E into what is summation ds? Summation ds is area of the Gaussian cylinder is 2 pi into what is the area of the Gaussian cylinder? 2 pi RL. 2 pi into R into L. So this is these many number of fluxes are passing out through the entire Gaussian cylinder. This is equation number is 1. Then we know that if these many number of fluxes are passing out, then what will be the from Gauss? We know that from Gauss theorem. What do we know that from Gauss theorem, guys? From Gauss theorem, what can I write? From Gauss theorem, Gauss's theorem. What is Gauss theorem? From Gauss theorem, total outward electric flux pi is equal to, what is pi is equal to, what I can write here? 1 by epsilon naught times of summation of q. This can also be written as pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of, what is summation q, guys? Summation q is nothing but a capital Q only. This is equation number is 2. What is 2 pi RL? 2 pi RL is the area of the Gaussian cylinder. Since area of the Gaussian cylinder what is area of Gaussian cylinder? Area of Gaussian cylinder. What is area of the Gaussian cylinder? Since, what is since? Since ds is what? ds is area of Gaussian cylinder. Therefore 2 pi RL. What I can write here? This is the area of Gaussian cylinder. So this is equation number is 1. Please attention here. If these many number of fluxes are passing out through the entire Gaussian cylinder, then how many number of charges are enclosed? Pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of Q. This is the total charge enclosed. Compare equations 1 and 2. If you compare equations 1 and 2, what do you get, guys? So compare equations 1 and 2. Therefore, कितना number of fluxes are passing out through the Gaussian surface? Pi is equal to E into 2 pi RL. E into 2 pi into RL, these many number of fluxes are passing out through the entire Gaussian cylinder is equal to what I can write here? What I can write here, guys? E into 2 pi RL, these many number of fluxes are passing out through the entire Gaussian cylinder is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times of Q. 1 by epsilon naught times of Q. Can I write? 1 by epsilon naught times of total charge. This is 1 by epsilon naught times of total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Therefore, what I want electric field. Therefore, E is equal to what I can write here? E is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi times of epsilon naught. 2 pi times of epsilon naught, right, divided by Q divided by R into L. We know that. What do we know that? Surface charge density. Surface charge density is equal to what I can write here? What do you mean by surface charge density? Lambda is equal to what I can write here? Charge per unit length. Charge is equal to, the linear. This is called linear charge density. What is linear charge density, guys? Linear charge density, lambda is equal to Q by L. This implies Q is equal to lambda into L. Please observe carefully. What is mean by linear charge density? It is defined as the ratio of charge per unit length. If lambda is equal to Q by L, therefore Q is equal to lambda into L. Instead of Q, you write down, what I can write down? Just you write down lambda into L only. Therefore, can I write here? E is equal to 1 by 2 pi times of epsilon naught by, in place of Q, I will write lambda L by R into L. Lambda L into R into L, L will get cancelled, guys. So L will get cancelled. Therefore, what is the expression for electric field? You will get electric field E is equal to E is equal to what I can write here? 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught times 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught times of lambda divided by R. So this is the expression for electric field due to infinitely long straight charged conductor. E is the electric field intensity due to a long straight conductor. 2 pi epsilon naught is called permittivity of free space, where lambda is called linear charge density, where R is the distance from the straight conductor, where you want to calculate the electric field due to a long charged straight conductor. Please write down the diagram first. I'll give 5 minutes of time. Electric field intensity due to long charged conductor or wire. First you write down a long charged conductor, put a straight line, and on either side of the straight line you put positive charges. Consider a point P at a distance smaller from the straight conductor. Place a plus 1 coulomb of charge at that point P. Construct a Gaussian cylinder of length L. Consider a small elemental area ds. Area vector is ds vector. The blue lines are there, that is called electric field lines passing through the small elemental area ds. So now, first, what is the first step? Let d pi be the few electric flux passing through the small elemental area ds. D pi be the few electric flux passing through the small elemental area ds, and it is given by d pi is equal to eds cos theta. Here electric field is a vector parallel to the ds vector. Parallel means theta is equal to 0 degree, cos of 0 degree is equal to 1. Therefore d pi is equal to eds. D pi is equal to eds is the few flux passing through the small elemental area ds. These kind of elemental areas constructed over the entire Gaussian cylinder. You will get the total area of the Gaussian cylinder. Therefore, total flux, electric flux passing through the entire Gaussian cylinder of radius r. Therefore, pi, total means pi is equal to summation d pi. Summation d pi is equal to summation eds. Since electric field is constant on all the surface of the cylinder, at every point on the surface of the cylinder, so electric field is take outside the summation. Summation ds. What is, if you add all the elemental areas of the entire Gaussian cylinder, you will get the area of the Gaussian cylinder. What is the formula for area of the cylinder? 2 pi rl. Therefore, pi is equal to E into 2 pi rl. Consider the equation number 1. Then from Gauss theorem, what is the statement of Gauss theorem? Total outward electric flux pi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Therefore, just you compare the equations 1 and 2, you will get the equation E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught into Q by RL. Then we know the definition of linear charge density. What do you mean by linear charge density? Lambda is equal to Q by L. That implies Q is equal to lambda into L. In place of Q, you substitute lambda L. L get cancelled. Therefore, you will get electric field due to a infinitely long, straight, long charged conducting wire. Long, straight charged conducting wire is given by E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught. I'll write the final equation neatly. Next step. So, therefore, you will get electric field E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught times of, am I right or not? What is remaining? Lambda divided by R. This is the expression for electric flux due to infinitely long straight conductor. Here 1 L is there. This is 1 L and this is another L. So both in the numerator L get cancelled. This L get cancelled. this cell get cancelled. Therefore, you get E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught times of it. 1 by epsilon naught times into lambda by r. Just you put into r cap, you will get a vector form. First, you write down all the things. If you want to put it in the vector form, just put this is an electric field vector into what I can write here, r cap. R cap is the unit vector. This is the expression in terms of vector form. If you remove this one, r cap and vector, E vector you remove, you will get the magnitude only. Okay, I'll continue in the next class.